There we go. So we have Team Evilinis for blue, which I will change. All right, and then we have
we so good looking on
I'm not
on red side.
sure if that's gonna fit, but we'll make it.
they're good. They're so good looking we can't even fit it on stream.
We so good looking.
All right.
Sorry, last time I was on stream though, I do apologize. I had to go quickly. I am also part of the tech crew, so
yeah.
busy.
Looking at our first band here from Team Evilinis, we got a Lysandra band. And then over here, back on Team We So Good Looking, we have a Pantheon band.
Yeah, well, Dry Tears did play a good amount of Lysandra. You know, he plays other champs, but Lysandra's definitely one that most people don't like. You know, getting up there in the ban list, she is very hard to deal with. Very good CC, very good damage. And so they also banned Pantheon, which that one has to be a little bit more targeted. I know Pantheon has a good engage, good tools, but that one has to be a little bit more targeted because the top play champ for Eveline is Pantheon, although he plays others, but maybe they just don't want him on that one. They do have respect for it. He does do a lot of damage. So Irelia is also the next pick. Maybe they're looking for a Gnar top lane. You know, Irelia is a really good counter for that one, so they are probably looking for the Gnar there. First pick is Ahri. So they wanted their mid lane and they wanted secure. Ahri is very great in mid lane, especially when they ban Lysandra and Orianna, two awesome mid laners as well. So it forces Dry Tears to play maybe out of his comfort zone a little bit, maybe get on a not so conventional mid laner to deal with it because the better laners are kind of banned out. And they also even banned Zed on for We So Good Looking. So there's a very few options that they have on there.
And looking over here, over on Team We So Good Looking. Looks like they're taking away Thresh from Mr. Humandu, very well-renowned support and very prominently known for his Thresh. They went ahead and took it away from him. Probably this is probably due to him being so highly skilled with him. You know, this was definitely I feel like this is one of those picks where they just wanted to take it away from him. So he
don't want them.
He still has a plethora of other picks that he could take, but
I mean the young Nana does play Thresh a good amount too. So, but I don't know his skill level that well. I've heard of him on obviously playing Thresh, but it's definitely like I'm gonna take it so you don't have it.
No, absolutely. Meanwhile, over here on Team Evil Leanies, we have Rek'Sai and Graves going over here. So a little bit more burst coming on their side with Ahri, Graves, and Rek'Sai, and it's a pretty decent amount of CC too with that with Rek'Sai being able to go all over the map and have a pretty decent amount of mobility. And then over here on Team We So Good Looking,
you got the Narvin combo.
We got the Narvin combo,
which is interesting because actually Team Evilinis banned Irelia, maybe trying to get Gnar, and We So Good Looking was like, oh, you just banned my counter pick? I'm going to take Gnar.
Yep.
And now as punishment for not picking them early, they did favor AD carry over top, which is debatable in a sense. Graves is a very good pick and is one to secure, but I think if you're trying to ban Irelia and go for Gnar, you should have picked Gnar very early. So that's a target. That'd be awesome.
Oh God, Humandu, don't do this to us, please. I haven't seen Tarek in high elo play in a very long time. He probably will decide to go with the Braum, and he does. Braum, very, very solid pick. Going to be a very this bot lane with Braum and Graves going to be very, very tough. Graves already having passive armor stacks whenever he attacks on top of the armor granted by Braum and the Unbreakable. Yeah, he's going to have a lot of peel right there for him. Meanwhile, over here on Team We So Good Looking, decides to go for a more traditional poke heavy long range ADC support comp with Caitlyn and Annie.
No, it's actually Caitlyn Thresh. Annie.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. Caitlyn and Thresh.
I'm looking at We So Good Looking. Their comp is centered almost entirely around J4. J4 goes in, cataclysms everyone, while Nars everyone into the walls that are created, and then Annie follows up with a Tibber stun. So, but if J4 doesn't get in, it's going to be a little bit harder for them to fight. Obviously, you have the Flash Annie, or just if Flash Tibbers, or if Tibbers just hits, they can do it. But it's really more reliant on Jarvan.
Right.
And if Jarvan doesn't get in, it might not go so well in a team fight. But if on top of that, if they don't get in, they have Thresh hooks to worry about. They have stuns. They have long range between Nars boomerangs and Caitlyn's AAs to poke a little bit. The spear from J4 does a long range. It does good damage. So they have definitely like a stall to get into that combo, so they can actually get their wombo combo off. But on top of that, with Team Evilinis, Rumble is actually a very good punisher of J4. Because if J4 does trap any of his teammates in there, he's trapping them in the equilibrium as well. And if he were to break it, then the team fight might get out, you know? So it's a very good punisher. And then they also have Hamandu on Braum, which can, on top of that, make sure people stay in the equilibrium. So even if the Cataclysm was to break, Haman on Braum can just ult and make sure that you're on that. And it's like a bigger slow area, so they have a really good answer to the J4 combo.
I think in this case, Team Evilinis definitely has the better disengage and ability to peel for their AD carries, mid carries, and also have the ability to get pretty easy picks with ults on Rumble and the unburrows on Rek'Sai. And I think that if they do get engaged here by We So Good Looking, they will have the ability to disengage favorably and go ahead and re-engage in the fight on their terms.
Exactly.
And again, a very heavy amount, like you said, a very heavy amount of CC. And the Jarvan Gnar combo coming in, or Narvan combo coming in there too, is pretty devastating. If and only if Jarvan is able to land a Cataclysm on high priority targets and get Gnar in there for the Cataclysm. Don't forget, Gnar does have the Gnar specifically, in this case Travipu, does have to position himself well and keep his meter in check so that he is able to Gnar or E and Gnar in right inside of the Cataclysm. So it's going to be very dependent on their synergy and their ability to get these picks and catches and get high priority targets in those ults too. So hopefully they will be able to do so.
To further what you're saying with Gnar controlling his Fury, because I was looking at it, they're a very pick-heavy comp on Evilinis. You have Charm to hit, you have Unburl, which can hit multiple targets, obviously. You have Concussive Blows, which can hit, obviously you can stack it on multiple people, but it's a single target. And they have very good damage on single target. So they have awesome engage for that, because there is tunnels, there is equilibriums and Braum ults stopping them, there's dashes, and there's spirit rushes, that if they see Gnar come down from Mega Gnar into his mini form, they're going to go in. Because now you have to wait 10 seconds before that can even do anything. And so they have a very good, so that's probably what they're going to do. They're probably going to sit there, they're going to make sure, they might get Gnar to come out a little bit so that he can burn his Mega Gnar, and then as soon as that's gone, they're probably going to go in. Or look for picks, Either way, they don't seem to want to have the biggest team fight unless they're ahead. They have potential between Rumble and Braum and having damage on the other three, but I feel like because We So Good Looking has the way better team comp, they might just want to look for picks and look to punish really bad plays from We So Good Looking.
Yes, well, we'll see how those team fights actually unfold later on in the game. As for right now, we are going to go right into the match. It is going to start soon. We're going to go straight into laning phase as we are waiting here on the loading screen. And hopefully, like you said, we will be able to get into those team fights later on, where they're able to show the fruits of their kits, their ability to disengage on Team Evilinis and get picks, and then Team We So Good Looking ability to engage.
And we are loaded onto the Rift for our first game of our Grand Finals.
Once again, this is Grand Finals, guys, so let's get hype here on stream.
There's a lot of money on the line, a lot of prizes, and both teams do not want to lose. You come so far, you have to win this.
There is $1,500 on the line.
Yes, $1,500.
These guys are going for broke, and don't forget, it is a matter of pride. This is for best team in Vegas.
This is best team in Vegas and surrounding states too, because we have some people that are coming from out of state as well. But I mean, to say, hey, I'm on the team that beat everyone in Vegas, I'm one of the best, is absolutely one of the most amazing things to say. Bragging rights. But $1,500 is really good too. You gotta say. So looks like they're both teams are going for a line of scrimmage almost. You have Rumble guarding blue, you have Gnar sticking by his top tower, you have Annie at mid tower, which is a little weird. Maybe she might want to branch out a little bit to get vision. You have Ari in the bush. Red team does have wards out, so that's probably good. But Ari's in the bush, she's just waiting. Rek'Sai's waiting, probably gonna start, looks like he's gonna start Gromp. Gromp blue, not too bad on Rek'Sai. That kind of tells me he might want to go Gromp blue, red, and then mid laner. He might be able to get a bot lane gank, but I don't know. It's kind of hard, especially early on, if you're not the most amazing instant blink. so I feel like he might want to go mid laner. However, I was lying because he is coming bot, so Graves and Braum are going to fall back, and they're going to, I don't know what those are called. I think they're called Grugs.
Yeah, the Krugs. They are going for they will be going for the Krug start over there on Rek'Sai. She will probably look to go ahead and smite those, get that stun passive off so that she's able to clear her camps a little easier. Meanwhile, it looks like Jarvan will go ahead and start Gromp for the potential, poison on hit effect, so that he'll be able to clear his camp just as easily. Pretty standard starts for both junglers, honestly. Rek'Sai just not opting to start the blue and start the Krugs instead. That's fine. It'll probably be a lot faster for her clear anyways. And yeah, we are going right into it too.
Yep.
Looking right now at Annie and Ahri here in the mid lane, and then we have, of course, we have Rumble and Gnar over here in the top lane.
We might see a level 3 fight on top lane because both junglers will be able to get top by level 3. You know, they're gonna take red and then blue for Rek, and then blue and red for J4. However, I've been seeing this a lot. J4 does can do a decent gank at level 2. You know, he'd have his combo, his flag and drag, so he might go blue and then maybe mid laner. But it looks like he's actually just gonna go red. And he is ahead of Rek'Sai, not by too much. With Tunnel, you know, probably catches up. So they're going to hit level 3, and I think if J4 keeps his lead, he'll be able to get damage first, and Rek'Sai will be forced just to counter gank and try to protect Rumble rather than going in for the kill. So, especially because Rek'Sai is going for Wolves now, so he's not really looking to actually gank top early. So J4 is probably going to come top, get this gank. Rumble might want to be careful. He's laying down the damage onto Gnar. Gnar's going to enter Mega Form, and he will get a little bit of a health regen, which will help him out. Early levels, it's not much, but early levels, there's nothing that's really that much. It's going to help him out a lot, actually, in this early levels, even though the scaling gets a little bit better as the game goes. The hook does land on Braum, and
Braum is going to get flayed back. A little bit of harass going on to him. Nothing too major. The 80 carries will go ahead and trade a bit of damage here and there, but honestly, nothing too major going on between these two teams here in bot lane. They are just, farm between each other, farm pretty even.
With Rek'Sai.
Yeah. Jarvan is looking for a potential gank top. Wards were placed down, however, and it doesn't look like much of anything will end up going on there. Very, very nice stand behind and into the queue from Braum. Laying down a little bit of harass there onto Caitlyn, not letting her free farm as easily, and that's that's typical Human do there, putting the real harass and pressure as a support and preventing any kind of easy farm from
and
further
Rek'Sai
out of the lane.
is looking to go mid right now. He is lining up, but Annie might have spotted him. She did ping over him, so she's gonna either head back to tower. Looks like she's trying to recall. Maybe she might bait it out, or maybe she thinks Rek'Sai is going to go for Raptor. So she seems pretty safe. I've been noticing Annie is just farming with all her abilities, even when she has stun up, which is not necessarily.
And the hook does come down here onto Graves. They get him and Braum will get flayed back. They're gonna go ahead and put a couple of the Frost stacks over there onto the Thresh. It won't take too much damage. They won't proc the stun. They're just gonna sit back and chuck a couple pots here and there, and not too much of a deadly situation for the 280 carries.
The stun does hit, but not gonna follow through. She rather get out of the true damage from the orb coming back. So smart, respectable for sure. They're playing she's playing more defensive than offensive,
A very good quick draw there by Graves to avoid that hook from Thresh.
Exactly, yeah. But if Annie were to go a little bit more aggressive, she would definitely hold onto her stun and sit in front of minions and try to bait out Ahri. And she wanted to go for a minion, get the harass out. But she's not really looking for that. She's looking just to make sure she gets her farm.
Right. Absolutely.
It looks like it's just a farm fest all around, which is, usually how this game plays out early on. J4 and Rek'Sai are in the jungle. Rek'Sai is a little bit ahead of him as far as farm for the jungles goes, and has boots though, so he might be looking to gank very soon. Rek'Sai's pre-6 ganks are not bad,
Another good, these Graves is just managing to just get out of that death sentence range with every single quick draw being up. Very methodical by him too. Scuttle does go ahead and go down to Jarvan. Braum is going to go ahead and W, and he's going to land the Q onto Caitlyn here. One more attack for the stun. He's going to throw down the Q. The heal does come out. The one flash auto attack goes ahead and takes it for Graves. Meanwhile, Jarvan is going to go ahead and come down. Rek'Sai is also down here too. They're laying the hurt down there on Graves. Graves with poison damage taking. Red is going to have to back off a little bit here. It is a 3v2. They don't have enough to take down Graves. Jarvan's probably just going to hold here for as much as possible until
Very
Caitlyn can just make it back in the lane.
decisive by Braum.
Meanwhile, over here in top lane, the flame spitter going down from Rumble is not quite enough to kill Gnar. The Q does come down from, and he just barely manages with the flash to get the kill onto Jarvan. They're going to go back ahead and run off with that kill.
Tunnel out though. So that's where
meanwhile, Rumble over here is trying to get this kill onto Gnar. He does land the Electro Harpoon. The ult does come out, and he does get that kill on Gnar. But Annie is probably just gonna take this kill from. She flashes in for the
no, the
flamethrower into the ignite. She might not have been quite been enraged. She just wanted to be able to make sure that she secured it. She got the kill, and that's gonna be a 3-for-1 advantage over here for Team Evilinis.
And see, that's how Rek'Sai really does excel. You know, holding onto his tunnel, getting a tunnel in the lane, using it to gank, and then holding on his tunnel, he can go really deep and tunnel outwards. So it was very nice. And he does have really good follow-up ganks in every lane, as long as he puts a tunnel there before. So very nice. I mean, very decisive by Braun. If you see, he says, "I'm gonna jump in, I'm gonna go get some damage, try to kill." And that's what happens, and they got the kill, you know. It's very decisive, and that's what the support needs to do. They need to really decide the lane. You know, they got to make sure they set the pace, which Braum is. Thresh is kind of sitting back and just with his AD carry. I would like to see him maybe a little bit more aggressive. I know he's getting quick drawed every time he throws a death sentence, but maybe try to run up closer and flay or bait out quick draw and then quickly throw your hook back.
Humandu, like you said, Humandu is really putting on the pressure as a support and really asserting the lane dominance, which is, you know, all that important in a 2v2 lane right there. And honestly, he's the one with the 2 assists who set up the plays for his team, got them those 2 kills, and put Team Evilinis ahead in this bot lane, and it's perhaps looking to obviously carry the rest of his team. And as long as he continues to land those W's into Qs for the slows onto Caitlyn and proccing those stuns, they will continue to get those kills. Meanwhile, here at top lane, Gnar is going to go ahead and transform. We do have Ahri coming in though. She's going to land the charm. She's going to throw the Q in. The Gnar is going to come out, but one more Spirit Rush followed by an Ignite is going to take that kill there for Team Evilinis. They're going to go ahead down here bot lane. They're going to go ahead and stun Thresh. Thresh will go ahead and reel Graves back in. They're barely going to be able to pick up the kill with the collateral damage. Graves still is taking a bunch of damage. The ult does come down there from Braum, and a beautiful amount of kill there. Amazing
See, that's knowing the champion. You see how he tanks the tower. He's like, you know what? This wall is huge. I got this, Graves. Come in with me. And a very nice play, bot lane. Very methodical. Wow, that was nice. And it's just nice plays all around. Charm hitting. The Gnar was very good, his ult, but not enough, obviously. But very nice plays. They're communicating. They told Rumble to go in, even though Mega Gnar was there. They told him to go in, and he went in, and he got the kill. And it's very nice, and the crowd's very hyped about seeing that.
Yes, they are. And speaking of hype, a Charm does go ahead and come down here onto Annie. Annie's going to go ahead and throw Tibbers on to Rek'Sai, but it's not going to be enough. She's going to be able to take it with the Queen's Wrath, and she's just going to go back into the jungle, heal up a little bit, and take that kill for her own. Maybe look to build a couple more items. Go ahead and take blue too.
The damage was real.
The damage was very, very real there. Annie was able to turn around with the Tibber stun and get a lot of damage onto Rek'Sai right there. It was very close to getting that kill on Eveline.
Half a second more.
About half a second more might have done it. She needed one more ability to get that kill.
Her cooldowns, they're not high.
And Annie being incredibly burst heavy, she does have to rely a lot on her cooldown zone. If she's not able to get that immediate kill, she is going to be forced to suffer.
Yeah. And here comes J4.
Jarvan is going to go ahead and EQ in. He's going to throw the Cataclysm onto it. He's putting a lot of damage onto Humandu. Lovely Iris in the meanwhile is trying to kite back. They're going to proc the stun. Teleport is going to be coming down here from Rumble. Rumble is going to go ahead and come back from behind. They're going to get that auto attack onto Graves. It's not going to be enough to kill Graves. The Q is going to come down onto Caitlyn. Caitlyn is going to get stunned. They're going to go ahead and throw the Flame Spitter onto it. Thresh will activate the box. It's probably not going to be enough for him to be able to get out of this sticky situation. And Graves is alive. Rumble gets a double kill. Very solid.
And there's going to be Dragon right there.
Team this and is a Dragon.
Huge lead.
And a Dragon.
10 minutes in, 5K gold lead. 4.5, 4.7. That's basically getting a lead, like a 1K every 2-minute lead. Like, that's impressive.
Very impressive.
Turn that TP gank around. Not TP gank, sorry, the Lantern gank around so quickly. And that's because they just don't have the damages there. Like, they need to farm up more. They are behind.
Meanwhile, Humandu being the absolute best support, slowing Annie, putting those frost stacks onto him. Absolutely no disregard for his life. He knew he wasn't even close to dying right there to Annie with the Unbreakable Shield up and set up the kills right there for his friendly Ahri to go ahead and get that kill.
Mustaches help a lot.
Mustaches are manly.
Yes, and Annie is lacking one.
Annie is very much lacking in that manly department. Absolutely. And this, honestly, all of this is just showing how strong Evilini's is as a team. 11-1 lead in kills. Now a 6K gold lead already this early into the game.
Yeah. And it looks very grim. They need to play as evil or We So Good. They need to play less aggressive. They need to not push out far because they're roaming, or they need to start roaming. Start setting something up. Annie did come top. Unfortunately, Nard died when she did, but that's their only kill. They need to make something happen. They need to roam together, and if they're gonna gank bot, they need to have 4. They can't do it 3 because they just saw how that went. No. And I don't know, Nard didn't TP down. I don't know why his TP is on cooldown. Maybe it was already still on cooldown. They need to start setting something up. They need to start grouping. They need to start playing passive and respect that they're going to keep doing this.
Meanwhile, speaking of playing passive, Annie is not doing so. She will go ahead and flash out of the equalizer with the Electro Harpoon followed by the Flame Spitter, and the Unduro is more than enough to take her down. She had nothing on her right there to save her. The flash already burnt to try and escape. Graves going ahead and going aggro here. He's about 4 kills up. The charm from Ari is going to go ahead and hit Jarvan here. She probably won't be able to follow him much under tower. She is going to activate the Spirit Rush though. She's able to tank the 3 tower shots to get that kill from Jarvan, just showing how ridiculously far ahead Team Evilini's is in this game.
Flame Spitter did half health on Annie, and it wasn't even fully on her too. And then the flash on Burrow followed by a charm. Easy setups. They have a very good pick on. They have a very good combo. They're playing it perfectly. They are roaming together. They're setting ganks up there, getting picks. They are destroying, and that's how you play it. Like as we saw.
Meanwhile, Thresh here. They will proc 3 of the 4 stun procs here, and Rek'Sai will go ahead and come around, get that kill onto Thresh. 4 members of Team Evilini. Actually, all 5 members. They're collapsing onto the 2 bottom members. They're going ahead and they're bottlenecking. Team Weed looking so good. Team Weed looking so good. By the way, not looking so good at all in this game.
We looking so bad.
Not looking. I'm not gonna say bad, but they're not looking very solid at all in this game. It looks like they're very frustrated. Evilini's just so on point. They're responding to each other. Their synergy is so strong with each other. The teleports coming in. It doesn't even seem like much words are being exchanged between them, but they're still able to so effortlessly get these kills and come together. And they're so far ahead now. A 15-1 kill lead, 8K, almost 9K gold lead now. And I mean they've already taken two towers, and I don't know what We Looking So Good can do to really get into this game. Besides, I mean, you said they could play safely, but even playing safely, they're getting dove under tower.
They are. That's a problem. That's how far ahead that the Evilini's has got. There's nothing that really We So Good Looking can do. They just have to really try their hardest not to do anything insane and wait for farm. I would say wait for team fights because that's where they excel. But at this point, 15-1, I don't think you're going to excel in anything.
Meanwhile, the charm is going to come down on Annie here. Ari's going to Spirit Rush right out of there. She doesn't want any part of that kind of fight, despite them being so far ahead. The Q is going to come down. The collateral damage will go ahead and take that kill onto Thresh over there. And Ari is not touched. She's going to Spirit Rush in. She is going to get stunned by Annie. She will not get that kill. Braum will also fall. Humandu trying to set up a play for his team right there. Kind of backfired on them right there, but they can handle it. Meanwhile, Robo's going to try and turn this around with the equalizer into a Flame Spitter. Doesn't look like he'll be able to do that much, considering he had the oh god, and he is taking a lot of tower shots here. He was unaware of the Flame Spitter catching that turret aggro right there as he tried to retreat. So
he has the Andres, that's why.
Yeah.
So it takes it. But he was really trying to time Meganar's decline so that way he can go in and auto attack with his passive on there, doing a lot of magic damage. And would have been able to get the kill.
Absolutely shredding the team now.
Unfortunately, he mistimed it. But you see how they just got 2 kills? I mean, some of them died, but that's what they got to hope for. They got to play defensive groups and try to get them to mess up. That's the only way they're going to get that. They got to get this gold lead back from 9K. 9K, no matter how good you are, you're not going to do anything.
That's quite a lead to get back. Rek'Sai is going to come up here. They're going to look to collapse here on Tanar after taking this tower. Jarvan is going to come down, throw the standard. I don't know if we're going to see a Cataclysm. We are not. I don't think they're confident enough to go in after giving up so many kills to Evilini's. They'll probably just go look to keep this tower safe and clear the lane a little bit. Jarvan just being there for moral support, and so Nard doesn't get tower dive easily. Annie, by the way, trying to come around. She will get spotted out by the Humandu right here. He does miss the ult, but the Unbreakable Shield will come down towards Annie. He's zoning Annie away from the fight. Meanwhile, Ari is Spirit Rushing in to get this kill onto Jarvan. She still has 2 charges of Spirit Rush left. Will she be able to get this? Yes, she will. She will go ahead and throw the Orb of Deception onto him. The charm does come down onto Nar. Nar is very tanky right now. He will go ahead and hop in and get that kill. Meanwhile,
so
the blue
low.
team is very low right now. They really have to watch out. They do have strength in numbers right here, but Nar is under the tower. And it looks like Rek'Sai will end up dying for her troubles, but it's not bad at all. They went ahead. They took a 2 to 3 advantage here in favor of Team Leanies. Not too bad. They went ahead, secured that tower as well. You know, gold lead in this case picked up to about 10K, so they're still very much so in the lead.
I don't know. Where was Thresh? I get Graves wasn't in that fight, and so nor was Caitlyn. Fine. But where was Thresh? Sitting next to Caitlyn for no reason. Caitlyn does need the help, but under a tower against the Graves, she should be fine. And if she's not, that's a misplay on her part. They needed to go in.
Oh, speaking of misplays here, Graves is gonna throw a bunch of damage onto Caitlyn and Thresh. Unfortunately, he is a little outmatched. He will still get the kill due to crit being OP.
What's a 1v4 advantage for the one?
Oh,
I think so.
This is a 6-1 Grave. Well, at the time a 5-1 Graves. Rek'Sai gonna try and unburrow onto 3 members there. The equalizer coming out of Rumble absolutely shreds every member of So Good Looking. Meanwhile, Annie is going to get eaten up by that Flame Spitter. The triple kill does come down for Rumble. Rumble already so ridiculously fed. Kevin's been doing so much work for his team, applying so much damage. It doesn't matter that they had Graves die in that fight. The equalizer damage combined with Leandri's just absolutely shredded any attempt for Red Team in this case to perform any kind of retaliation. So good looking cannot fight an equalizer. They can't do anything.
That equalizer was huge too. It locked up 3 of them and just destroyed them. Having Leandri's and Sork shoes at 18 minutes is ridiculous amount. It's basically you're not having magic resistance and he's doing base damages. You know, he's destroying you with everything he does, and it is showing. Equalizer is not a good name for that. That's like I'm gonna put you over the top.
It's an advantage. It's an advantage-lizer. If that's a word, it just brings the advantage on. It just increases their lead over and over again. Because the one that needed an equalizer right now is We So Good Looking.
Yeah, they need like 6 or
they
7.
The equalizer just needs to be there for them, and it's not. Meanwhile, Rumble patrolling the jungles of We So Good Looking. No fear at all in his eyes. He's not worried. He's so big right now. He has a level lead, but We So Good Looking trying to set up a play over here. Are going to Spirit Rush in only to meet stuns from Annie. They're going to go ahead and Red Team just so caught up in all that damage. So much damage coming out of her, and that was mostly just a Flame Spitter coming out of Rumble. Look at all the damage coming onto Caitlyn. She didn't survive 2 seconds in that Flame Spitter.
I didn't see any of the Red Team actually. They just died.
Red Team got absolutely decimated from the sheer amounts of AoE. Even after Ari got stunned and almost blew up in that case, the Foxfire combined with the Spirit Rush was able to put so much damage onto We So Good Looking. And then, Rek'Sai and Rumble came in there to go ahead and clean up with Flame Spitters and Umburros. They're just so like We So Good Looking, just so squishy right now compared to.
See, it was a very nice catch on Ari, but I feel as far as the team fight went, they blew too much on her. Tibbers hit her and Jarvan, and that's it. Tibbers needs to hit as much people as possible, and priority is good, but Ari got stunned before, or not stunned before Tibbers, but she got very low. Ace in the hole hit her, some initial damages. She was very low, and maybe they should have held on to Tibbers. They did get the kill, which is nice, but they lost the team fight, which is not nice. And so maybe they gotta line up this team fight better. I think there's gonna be a huge change, hopefully in round 2, where We So Good Looking realizes if we're gonna get a team fight comp, let's not push our early game, because that's what a team fight comp doesn't excel at. Is their early game. They need items. They need a team. If you're by yourself in a lane without items, you're the weakest point you'll ever be. And so they just get stronger as the game goes. But if they're not able to get that farm, which they're actually doing a decent job of keeping up on farm, but they're not keeping up on kill. So they're more and more behind every
Absolutely
time.
not. And meanwhile, they're so far ahead right now that they're not afraid at all to go into this jungle and potentially steal a red buff and maybe even a kill onto Jarvan. Jarvan going to have to flag right out of there. He's going to go ahead and throw the smite onto Rek'Sai to prevent her from any kind of retaliation and that potential kill. Meanwhile, Annie going to go ahead and throw the stun onto Rek'Sai. Annie very fortunate to dodge a bunch of potential CCs and damage right there. Artie's going to go ahead and Spirit Rush back, and looks like Leanies are going to go ahead and clear up a couple wards here in jungle.
Baron,
maybe prep for a potential Baron. Baron is live right now. They've got we so good looking locked down so hard. They're so focused on not getting caught out in their own jungle and going one at a time. They're starting to group up a bit, but they're being very, very cautious about how and where they do group up because they're at such a disadvantage right now.
Yeah. Well, oh, Cataclysm stopped!
Oh, God. And meanwhile, the equalizer is going to come down again. Timber's stun does come down from Annie. It's an absolute slaughter fest coming on down here for Red Team. Meanwhile, Leanies is going to go ahead and put a bunch of damage down here onto Gnar. Gnar is going to flash right out of there. It looks like Leandry is going to go ahead and tick on him anyways. Graves is chasing Annie. I think he should just give up that chase. And I mean, the one for 4, almost one for ace here coming out of Leanies, and they actually got caught pretty decently in that fight. That was probably the best engage you could have gotten out of We So Good Looking.
That was the most amazing charm I've ever seen in my life. Jarvan went up for a Cataclysm and got charmed midway up, and it canceled it. And Cataclysm went on cooldown, and there was no Cataclysm from it, and he just died. Absolutely the most amazing charm I've ever seen, and that was awesome. And then also on top of that, Equalizer was destroying even harder and harder.
It's been doing its job all game long, and you know every time it's been doing more than its job. Like you said, because We So Good Looking haven't been prioritizing doing well early on in the game, their late game team fighting has been been almost non-existent. The impact it's been having on the game is almost non-existent because they can't put on as much pressure being so far behind that everybody on Evil Leanies is just so individually fed themselves. They're able to outlive a lot of the bursts coming from this team fight comp here. I don't feel like we've seen a very super solid engage yet from We So Good Looking. That engage over there near Baron Pit was pretty decent, but we still haven't seen the Narvin combo at all. And I think
got canceled with charm.
No, yeah,
like, oh my gosh.
The charm came down and stopped it all from happening, and that is presence of mind. That is what tells a pro from a casual. Speaking of casual, Gnar will go ahead and casually die to Graves there. Actually,
1 in 5.
I mean, granted, he did get collapsed on by 4 members of Evil Leanies.
But
he has no business being out there at this point of the game.
Not by himself.
No, absolutely
not.
not.
The team?
Like, they're being forced into their base.
Yes. And right now, their only shining light for We So Good Looking is the Annie that's 5 and 6. If you look at the rest of the team, 1 and 5, 1 and 8, 1 and 7, 0 and 7. There's nothing. Annie needs to really dictate this game, and it's going to be really hard for her to do it. But she's gotta find that pick. She's the only one with a decent amount of items. She is out farming her lane, and she needs to find a decent pick without wasting Timbers. And then Timbers.
A hook coming in here from Thresh is not going to do anything. It's going to actually get him killed.
Yes.
He did throw it onto Ari there, and he ate a bunch of pokes.
I actually remember this. Hitting a hook means your death. Actually, you're not supposed to hit hook.
Death sentence.
Yes.
It was his death sentence.
Yes.
Okay. It all makes sense now.
There you go. See, I mean, this is what separates pros from the casuals. But they're going in right now.
The Equalizer does come in. It does just manage to get Caitlyn. It's more than enough for Team Evil Leanies to go in there, tank up that inner middle tower, and then get that middle inhibitor down for him. They're in such a commanding lead right here. They actually have enough time to go ahead and kill this pink ward for him, and then just move straight down the bot lane. Meanwhile, Ari is going to go ahead and get Tibbard right in the face. She will get stunned. She will get taken down. Meanwhile, Rumble is going to go ahead, pop the Zanyas. He did have the Flame Spitter coming up for him, but he is in danger zone. He probably will just go ahead and back off. I'm actually very surprised he didn't end up dying right there. We saw Galileo just not able to put enough damage down there. Meanwhile, the boss coming down from Thresh is not enough to save him from the ensuing onslaught from the rest of the members of Evil Lean. They're going to go ahead and take the bottom inhibitor, and this game is probably just about up.
What is this? 23,000 gold lead? That's a lot.
Oh my goodness.
That is a lot.
That is. I mean, kills aside. I mean, this is a game with a lot of kills, but all kills aside, this is a insurmountable gold lead. I would have to say at this point.
And to be honest, as much as you want to say there's a chance, there's not. There's no chance.
Oh, and of course, Crewmandu and friends are going to go ahead and pick up a second dragon for their troubles as well. Objectives like dragon and Baron haven't been that important in this particular game, mostly because We So Good Looking, they haven't been able to prioritize it themselves. They've been trying to prioritize staying alive in general, and they haven't been able to go over there and really contest anything. So 2 dragons have been mostly free.
Yes.
The Baron, the fight at Baron wasn't even really a fight for Baron. It was just a pick.
It was
a pick gone terribly wrong.
Yes.
But
yeah. I agree. And actually, so prioritizing does bring up the point. If you look at Champ Select, I don't think We So Good Looking really picked to get their comforts. You know, they're like they took Thresh to make it sure that the Haman didn't get it, and so it's forced on Braum. They took the Narvin combo because that's OP, you know, and then they took. Annie seems to be like the only comfort pick, and that's why she's the only one that's doing somewhat decent. You know, Caitlyn was a good pick, I guess. It got played bad. She did get they did have a couple 2v2s that Braum did dictate really well. So I mean, it wasn't a bad pick, but it wasn't really the best pick. They picked not to be comfortable, and that's what that needs to change. The next game they need to ban champions they don't want to deal with, and they need to pick champions that they're good with.
You think we'll see another Rumble?
We're gonna see another Rumble. No, we'll see him. We'll see him in the bands. That's where we'll see him. We might see him like 17 times.
I mean, honestly, Kevin himself is very good, but like this, like Rumbles has been absolutely amazing for him. Meanwhile, Arjun and Spirit Rush in just be met with all the CC in the world from So Good Looking, but they're just going to be melted down by everyone else here on Team Evilinis. They went ahead. They got three kills for 1 in their advantage. They're just going to push up, get this last tower, this last upper inhibitor, and now they have the super minions pushing middle, bottom. Caitlyn's doing all she can at this point to make sure that the super minions don't collapse on their turrets, but there's really nothing left to do. I mean, at this point, they're chasing Caitlyn down for the fun of it.
Yes.
And they got the kill onto her. It doesn't even look like Graves will end up going down. The Flame Spitter putting down absolutely destructive damage onto Gnar, and an amazing first game showing here by Evilinis, showing why they only lost once. And I can't really see them losing again after this kind of game.
And very good play by Evil.
Figured out the name of the teams, so let's see what they ban. I hope they're gonna ban Thresh or Picket.
Well, last game, the one to look out for last game was the bot lane of Graves and Braum, and so I'm thinking that they might want to go again and try to designate their bans towards the bot lane. So.
We're seeing the Irelia ban again, and I don't know what they have such confidence into that ban. I mean, Irelia is pretty OP, but the way that the top laner for the red team plays, he's really aggressive, and he probably could roll pretty hard if he gets that pick.
Right. Considering that his playstyle last game it was on Rumble, and I mean he wasn't really playing so much aggressive as he was just kind of letting.
You know,
he was letting the game happen. Yeah, he was letting the game passively happen.
But I mean, he did beat Gnar in the top lane in that first scrim by himself before Annie showed up and Flash burned him with every skill.
Okay, so getting into the actual picks now, we have Travipu picking up Lissandra.
Yep.
Probably going into the top lane.
Yep. Kaven is taking Thresh for Humandu this time, and I don't know if that's something they want to do. Humandu is very, very well known for his Thresh play.
I mean, how are you going to ban against Humandu?
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to ban a support because you lose out on so much potential with every other lane. So they're letting the Thresh go, and they're getting Graves again. Graves is just a really strong pick. He can burst, and we saw once he went in and took down the Caitlyn, there was nothing she could do.
Exactly. I think this is going to be just another strong game if they choose to go with the Graves. But right now they're still hovering over the Jarvan.
And Lissandra being picked, a pretty typical top lane pick for the current meta. However, we might see a Link mid lane Lissandra this time, and maybe this time this Lissandra will, crush the game.
I'm wondering that there's still no Rek'Sai ban, and Rek'Sai was another giant factor of that last game too.
Well, we'll be able to talk about that factor when we get into the waiting period. But right now, we have a Jarvan on the other side. They did have Jarvan in blue team last time, but they don't want that to happen this time. And Jarvan's a really good pick for the way that Human's team plays. They like to blitzkrieg their way through the Summoner's Rift, and Jarvan is the perfect champion for that.
We're seeing an Alistar coming out for
Alistar.
Yeah, Alistar for We're So Good.
They're gonna go ham, but instead of ham, they're gonna go cow.
They're gonna go beef.
They've got some beef with Human's team. That's perfect. Anyways, they have Graves and Alistar, so they're probably looking to engage really hard as soon as they get level 2, really. So we're going to have to see if Human's team is going to let that happen, because the Ezreal pick does not seem like necessarily the best choice, unless that Ezreal's going mid, which their mid laner is known for doing.
Right. I was going to say the Ezreal right now doesn't seem to fit that whole sort of get in there comp, but then there's a Sivir.
But then there's Sivir, and Sivir does match that get in there comp that we were talking about.
What do you know? Team synergies.
Yep. Simplicity hovering over Riven. That's a very interesting champion to hover over, considering that Rumble can actually do pretty well against her if they do not mess up the lanes so much. Lee Sin out there, is he going to be the jungler?
Yeah, Lee Sin would probably. Wow. Okay, so locked in. This team is all about that hard engage, which I'm trying to think of last game, and that wasn't really so much their point, but they seem to be going with the new approach this game with this comp.
And they have a lot of solo lane winning champions, or bot lane also wins. So we're probably hoping to see that blue team gets that early lane phase and does not lose it like they did last time. And red team hovering over Heimerdinger, I don't know if they're really going to pick that. But Heimerdinger is really good at team fighting, and we did get the Ezreal. Oh. Now the game is that an Ezreal mid or AD carry?
It's gonna probably be the mid Ezreal right now. Going against, it seems like the only one that doesn't want to go in. You got the flamethrower from Rumble. You've got Cataclysm, Sivir's ult, Thresh, hook, and then box. But it seems like it's, for the most part, it's going to be two teams that just want to go in against each other.
There's going to be some really explosive team fights, that's for sure. And we're hoping to see that Lissandra ults the right person at the right time. But who is that going to be? Is it going to be the mid laner, the AD carry? Because the carry potential on the right side is so well distributed that she's going to have a hard time picking people off.
Right.
However, she does have the defensive chance of Frozen 2ing herself and surviving the pain.
Correct. It's going to be probably highly dependent on how the lanes go. We're going to see a completely. I think we're going to see a completely different game from last game, just between just how different the lanes are. With Thresh, Sivir, that's going to be completely different from how you would play Braum and Graves, where you would want to just go in and pop your concussive blows and then get that early. It was like a level 3 kill last game. As compared to now, where it's going to be land a hook, get your boomerang blade off. Yeah. It's going to be a much more.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're expecting to see a lot of ganks from Jarvan coming down bot. You see, last time, what happened in that game was bottom lane won. They got that first blood by themselves. So what did Human's junglers do? They went bot lane and they just kept pressuring. So much of the early team fights happened there, while Ahri survived the pain in the neck that is Annie, and Rumble actually won his lane. So they gave him Rumble again, and now Travipu with Riven is probably hoping to flip the sides on that one and get the first kill on him.
Especially picking someone like Riven, who's going to be still that aggressive lane bully compared to, not compared to Gnar, because that's just another form of lane bully, essentially.
Yeah, the ranged lane bully.
Yeah, so you're going with, I guess, kind of the same mentality, and hopefully it works out a lot better for them than it did in the last game. At least hoping. I bet they're hoping that it works out better for them this game than it did last game.
So what do you think blue team is going to do this time differently?
This time they have to come out of lane winning. They have to. I feel a lot of the game is going to be decided yet again just by the laning phase, and with their comp, they have to win lane, and then once they come out of lane, push that advantage that they have until they hopefully close out a very quick game.
So yeah, it does look like they're going to have to close out a quick game, because with the mobility and the AoE that they can get from Human's team, the red team, it's going to be really hard as the team goes on later and later in the fights to make it through and push into their base. This is going to have to be another quick game, and it's going to have to be blue side that fights them off.
And it's just going to be it's completely dependent on early game, I think.
Yeah. But we are seeing that mid lane in Lissandra that I was talking about, and I actually don't really know the matchup between Lissandra and Ezreal, since Ezreal is not really a mid laner you see all too much. We do know for a fact that XKVZ plays Ezreal a lot, but we don't know how strong he really is against someone with a lot of CC like her.
Right.
I mean, he's going to be able to avoid her early harass, so his lane phase is probably going to be pretty solid. But once the ganks start coming in with her ult, he's going to be frozen for a while.
Right.
And I don't think he's going to build any form of tenacity.
No, of course not. That would be hilarious.
All right, we're headed up into the loading screen. Hopefully, we're going to be able to organize the champions to where they belong. Although they actually did it for us.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's pretty nice of them. They usually don't.
But anyway, so yeah, starting up, it's going to be. Do you think there's going to be any sort of variations between how the very beginning starts for either of these teams?
I mean, last time we didn't see all too much of an invade. Everything was pretty stagnant. People were dancing around near their buffs. I'm really thinking that they're going to invade with blue side right now. Although the red pings are coming out really strong, they're saying, all right, let's go into the red bush and see what happens there.
I feel like if Humon's team was to invade, the blue team, there's no doubt that they would win this level 1 engage.
Yeah. Well, we're seeing here, they're walking into the bush. The line of scrimmage is set up for the blue team. Lee Sin spots them out. Human flashes, tries to hook them, but is not able to get anything. They're walking through the wards, so I think blue team can rest easy that they're going to back off. Rumble's going to go back to his lane, it looks like.
So I'm not sure if either of them win in that situation because it's a leaf flash for a Thresh flash.
Right.
You might not be able to make those big plays in the beginning with Thresh.
But Lee Sin has enough mobility after his clear that he'll be golden, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like a lost flash for Lee Sin isn't that big a deal as compared to a lost flash for Thresh.
Yeah.
So hopefully it doesn't affect them too hard in the bot lane.
Yeah, well, Lee Sin right now is probably going to look to gank that bot lane if they're going to be as aggressive as they were last time and push up, because it's easy pickings on that Thresh. And if they can shut down the bot lane, they have increased that much more their chance of victory.
Right.
All right, we're starting over here with the Krugs for Lee Sin. He's going to want to get that stun passive using Smite. And over there, we have Gromp being attacked. Poor Gromp. I heard that the story behind Gromp is that the frog isn't actually evil. It's actually the fungus that he hops on and makes him huge and evil.
I feel like he doesn't have. I feel like he doesn't have any say in the matter. It's just nature playing its course. But lanes are going to start.
Mid lane starting, jungle starting pretty normally. Over there we have the top lane crashing into each other, and we're going to see bot. The harass coming out from Ezreal, getting a couple of auto attacks. He did start with a Doran's Blade, and so those auto attacks are going to hurt. His early AD is actually pretty high.
Exactly. Him going with this extra AD, we didn't really get the chance to look at Lissandra's runes or anything like that to see if she built with the armor or magic resist.
Right.
But, I mean, I guess building either against Ezreal.
Bot lane managed to get the priority on the wave. They're going to get level 2 first if things keep going this way. I'm pretty sure blue team is going to try to struggle against that. And those auto attacks and Qs are hurting that Lissandra really hard. Top lane, second level goes into our top laner. Travipu backs off. He takes a couple of flames, but he's going to be all right. Lovely Iris harassing really hard. Human misses the hook. Oh, how the first gank coming down as we predicted. Uman has nothing to do. He's going to try his best to escape the punt into the wall. Keel goes down. Aya Squire is trying to do his best. However, they're going to focus on the Iris, and she goes down. First blood going to Lee Sin, and the auto attacks are coming out of Ezreal. Oh, and the Q lands predicted into where she was going. Auto attacks for the execute. Very well done.
That was a beautiful read. I was going to say that bottom lane where Sivir had to die for Thresh's sins of flashing earlier.
Yeah.
You saw just how Lee Sin was able to just get in there like he normally does.
Yeah.
And
it was just such a gamble for Humandu to flash like that. And right now he's trying to defend the turret. He's not able to go back. And did we see if Sivir flashed for that? She did flash, unfortunately. So that's pretty rough. Kaven harassing Travipu really well. He has a big wave built up. Let's see if he's going to try to do anything on the turret. I really don't think so, but we're going to find out.
He might get a couple of harpoons on there and make her back, but that's all I would really say. He's not going to make a hard commitment to that.
Yeah, no. All right, Lee Sin's coming behind them. Kaven does have flash. Is he going to be able to make it out? He dodges the thing. Travipu is going to try to dodge. Flashes away from him. Kaven is in a bad situation. However, he's baited by Travipu. Aya Squire is going to go in. Is he going to be able to get a slow? Gets the auto attack. Gets the slow from Ian Cripple. Q lands. However, Lissandra's coming. He's going to try to help. He's surviving with the scrap shield. Goes back and gets auto attacked by Lissandra. That was a really extended
that was a really extended engagement right there. It just did not work out for Rumble in that case. And this time we're seeing that the aggressive jungling between Lee Sin is acquiring,
Paying off.
it's paying off for these kills early game, and that's exactly what they needed.
That's exactly how they want to play this. They don't want to lose control of the game so early. They want to go first. They want to put the foot right into the door and say no. Now, no more of that. He gets punted. Lovely Iris taking a lot of damage. They're waiting to use any of the stuff. Lovely Iris managed to run away. Human flays him away, and Simplicity is not able to take a kill. It's really rough right now for Lovely Iris now that they both don't have flash for a couple of seconds. And Simplicity is just being able to farm freely. He's 29 CS to her 18.
I was going to say, yeah, the CS lead is already starting to show itself in bot lane.
Lee Sin, again, putting pressure in the mid lane. Ezreal does have flash, flashes away, but he had Q on top of him. Does not knock up Aya's Squire. Eveline does a lot of damage, flashes for him, but the dash over the wall with the ward is enough. And he's going to be able to run away, I think. The camera's not following them. Up, he goes into the bush, but Lee Sin had kicked towards the Krugs.
Yeah.
Good survival, good use of his character.
It's unfortunate that Ezreal wasn't able to land his Q there after Lee was able to get over the wall. But yeah, back to laning.
Back to laning as it should be, but right now, Human's team is suffering really hard in the bot lane. They're not going to be able to do much. Travipu tries to get some harass down, gets the knockup. However, Kaven just comes off of silence and is going to be able to burn him up for a little bit.
Ooh.
Oh, wait. I think he might have overextended. Never mind. The Scrap Shield doing so much for him.
Right.
Trevipu gets away, but the lane bullying is happening for that Riven, and it's going to be rough because when Riven falls behind, it's very hard for her to pick herself back up and get in there, especially at 18 CS, 6 minutes into the game.
I was going to point out that
The flash flip from Humandu gets punted closer. Evil Lean tries to knock them up. However, Aya Squire shows up right on time with the perfect counter gank to kill him with his Q. Evil Lean is just taking a lot of damage because he didn't have that flash that he burned earlier. And now Lovely Iris is paying for the mistakes of her team. XKVZ tries to show up and pick up some kills, but he gets CC'd by all of the CC that is provided. Gets an ult off. Simplicity barely lives. And Lysandra was a little late to the show, but she helped out.
Oh my god, there was just so much that happened there in that little bot lane skirmish, and it just ended so poorly for Evilinis, where just 3 of them end up dying. That is exactly what We So Pretty want, or We So Good Looking want to happen for them. I mean,
everything that We So Good Looking wanted to happen is happening, and now we have to see if they can close out. We didn't get to see them in the lead before, but now that they have the lead, we have to see what they do. They're 3K gold ahead. Are they going to get some dragons? Because right now the game is totally in their favor, and Lysandra made up for that early first blood that she had to give away.
Exactly. That was the only downside so far of this early game, was that death to Ezreal in the mid lane. But
Ezreal's scaling is just so slow that Lysandra's utility is going to completely run him over, really.
Right.
All that Ezreal can hope for now is that he can push that away, and Ezreal's not necessarily the best pusher at all.
No. I mean, he's good at, he's got a last as an retire, you know? Like, that's what he's going to be able to do, and he's still able to keep up
But that's not
CS.
what he wants to do.
Yeah, I know, that's not what he wants to do. I'm just saying he's able to keep up CS-wise in the mid lane, which is, hopefully, if they're able to get out of this, you know, early game pressure, they'll be able to team fight more effectively, which I would give the team fight advantage to.
And here comes the first gank from a level 6 Lysandra. Entomb comes off. Travipu uses her ult and the ignite, takes him down. Dry Tears picks up the kill on the Rumble. Easy mode for her.
Yeah, that wasn't.
She just had to come in and say hello.
That wasn't even. As soon as the sun came down, there was just nothing that Rumble was going to be able to do there. Unless, oh no, yeah, his flash was still down. I was going to say, unless he repeatedly held on to
so many
flash.
flashes were burnt in the first 7 minutes. So the last 7 minutes, or 5, are going to be very painful for that team. And young Nana is just going in and harassing, gets the knockup. Simplicity, however, takes a little bit of harass from Boomerang Blade and Bouncing Blade. And right now the lanes are kind of reset. I don't know what they're trying to do, because Lee Sin is actually on their way bot, and red side has no wards in bot. However, they were informed. And where was that ward that they saw? Oh no, they pinged Lee Sin back. Actually, I guess
they just scared him with the ping.
Yeah, I mean they scared me with that ping. I was like, how did they know?
Yeah,
anyways,
that's another one of the.
Oh, and here comes the knockback. Lovely Iris takes 1 billion damage from Buckshot, but manages to get away with the Dark Passage. Simplicity is just establishing dominance with his Alistar. The young Nana doing really good on landing those knockback pulverizes. So it's definitely not good for the team comp that they have.
I haven't seen if Sivir's been effective with their spell shields, but it's just like what can you block when Alistar just comes in there, you know? Like you can block the knockback or you can block the knock up.
Yeah.
And you know you can't block both, and then either way, Graves is just gonna come in and shoot you in the face. So. All right. Looks like Lissandra might have gotten her blue buff, and she's coming back into the mid lane.
Yep. Jarvan over there near bot lane.
Oh, no.
I think they know that Lee Sin is there, and they're going to try to counter gank. Aya Squire is trying to get something off. However, he kicks lovely Iris. The heal comes off. Here comes the teleport from Rumble. Gets an excellent equalizer, and Simplicity is going to get taken down by the fires of Flame Spitter. Oh, he does do a lot of damage. Oh, he gets the kill on lovely Iris. That was incredibly well played and well thought out by him. The Entomb comes off, he heals, however XKVZ is not going to be able to take out Dry Tears. She has enough mobility, and the young Nana will be there to be a linebacker and punt him back, I would hope.
So that
Evil Lean spots him out. Is he going to knock him off? The young Nana gets knocked up. There's the red proc. Is he going to get slowed enough? Oh, XKVZ misses his Q. He flashes. Evil Lean flashes and auto attacks the cow for some nice minced meat for his team. And Humandu's team is catching up quite perfectly. They're going to go for this dragon that Kaven and Huandu had already sighted. Aya Squire is going to try to put down some pressure. Is he going to dash in and smite? He Qs. Is he going to land the Q? Q, smash. Oh, nope, the smite is taken by Jarvan. And Riven shows up, however, gets a kill on Human, gets a kill on Rumble, and Aya Squire is trying his best to assist him. XKVZ has no mana. Here comes some auto attacks from Dry Tears, and the buckshot that came to secure that.
So missed it.
Arcane shift. He was gonna arcane shift over. Don't worry.
And take the 3 to the face. Yeah,
that's some true grit.
It did. No, it didn't work out quite the way he planned. But Evil Lean, they walk away with the dragon. But we so good looking.
Also die.
Yeah, they walk away with an extra, I think, 3 kills. So it's just I don't know who wins that right there, because technically the Evil Indians win for the duration of the game.
Yeah.
But right now they're suffering in the here and now, man. They're suffering.
They're not having a good time. It's when they should have pizzaed when they French fried.
Exactly.
And Simplicity is really a monster to this Sivir, because unfortunately for Sivir, she is good at kiting, but Graves is a burster. He's not going to go for long auto attack battles like he is right now. He's going to, throw out his Q, throw out his ultimate, and the young Nana is being focused. Not a good idea. He pops his ult. Oh my gosh, the buckshot and his collateral damage doing so much damage. Double kill for Jarvan, or not for Jarvan, for Graves on the Jarvan. Aya Squire manages to come back and help Lissandra, who used the Frozen Tomb. The catch on, what is this team? We So Good Looking.
Yeah.
Is so good.
They're reacting to these plays so well, which is such a complete.
It's a turnaround of what we saw last game.
Yeah, exactly. It's just they're making so many hasty decisions. Human's team is making so many hasty decisions that are just not paying off.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's costing them. And We So Good Looking are making such a point of playing around those mistakes. And Aya Squire, of course, coming around. Red team has no wards on their own jungle right now. In fact, look at blue team's ward coverage. They have pink wards in the bush in front of red. They have pink wards by Dragon, and Dry Tears is coming, trying to do some damage. That was not a very good Rumble ult, and gets executed by Blade of the Exile.
Man,
that is painful.
That was not an equal. That was a less than right there. that was a lessenizer.
That did not equalize very much. I mean, it was kind of, in fact, he lost the cooldown, and Travipu is doing some damage to the turret. Will they take it? They're converging on them, Jarvan and Ezreal. We're going to see if they're going to be able to do something. Travipu takes a lot of damage from Jarvan, however, he dodges a lot of stuff. The ultimate barrage? No, True Shot Barrage does about half of her HP and gets taken down by the damage of that team. She flashes away, but lovely Iris is not going to be able to dodge the resonating strike.
Right into the queue, man. That's
as she flashed forward, she probably should have flashed to the side, but what can you do when you're under pressure? Evil Lean now is trying his best. I mean, the top laner and the mid laner are trying their best to keep the game together, but Lee Sin is running them over. He has been everywhere in the map. He was top, he was bot, he was mid, at least 2 times each.
Exactly, and you can just see it in the level advantage. And the level advantage, the gold advantage right now, we almost have
8.5 grand.
8.5k. is an advantage. There's 2 levels up on Riven, level up on the jungler. There's so much advantage going on for
We So Good Looking.
yeah, We So Good Looking.
I mean, they're really good looking, man. I
mean-
can see them off to the side over there.
Yeah, they stand up to their name, man. But
They really do. So what does Human's team have to do right now? Because they're in a tight spot. They're getting strangled really slowly. And Lissandra's CC is not going to let them get away from that chokehold anytime soon.
exactly. Well, what Evil Leanies, what I believe they're going to have to do is they're going to have to play this a lot more carefully because right now they're losing so much to just reckless plays. So they need to, hang on to towers. They need to start being with each other because the moment that any of them are alone, they just send 1, maybe even 2 people to just kill them, and there's no way that they can get out.
Yeah. I mean, now we have, as you can see, it's a big change now for the red team's warding coverage. They did get some pink wards out there. They have more red wards in their own side, and they actually managed to clear the pink ward that was up there. I think they just pinged it, in fact. It's like, hey, put that ward back there. And so here we are. They are grouping up, like you said. They're going to want a team fight, especially with Rumble's ult. Even though they are behind, I think a good combination of ultimates are going to win them a team fight, especially because Rumble's equalizer actually does not equalize things very well.
Exactly. I'm looking, let's see, Riven still has a teleport, so if they start a fight right now...
The Aya squad, Evilean comes in,
going in on
holds the
Alistar.
Cataclysm. Young Nana just not taking any damage, really. Evilean takes so much damage from the buckshot, however, and they're going to turn tail. That was a little bit too hasty. Aya Squire going in, however, XKVZ manages to Arcane Shift out of the way, and they cut their losses. However, Riven is pushing as a true laner does. Just forgets about the rest of the team and is over there. He's like, hey guys, I know you're in a fight, but I got a tower to take.
You see, that's their... Evil Leanies is doing exactly what they're not supposed to be doing right now. And you saw it again, Jarvan's
went
ulting the cow, and it's just not what you want to do right now, man.
I think he wanted to ult the cow into the graves, but Simplicity managed to dodge out just like he did right then.
Right.
And they're not able to do much. They have enough mobility to avoid Jarvan. Oh, Young Nana taking some poke. Travipu and Aya Squire, they're just distributing their pressure so well, and it's so hard to engage on them with such mobility. Riven and Lee Sin are not going to get away so fast, or they're not going to suffer when they try to get away. Travipu flashes away from Evilean. However, the smite comes down. Is he going to be able to kill him? He tries to turn on the Caven, doing so much damage. Oh, does not get the knock-up and gets Q'd. Oh, the Q actually doesn't land on him from Ezreal. Mystic shot.
You still saw there that the power of Riven right now, because she's almost double the CS of Rumble. She's got items. She was almost able to 2v1 right there without a problem.
Dry Tears coming in, pops the what's it called?
Frozen Tomb. What?
No. She doesn't pop the Frozen Tomb. It's the bubble thing with a thingamabobber.
Banshees, dude?
It's not Banshees. It's the Spell Shield. There you go. Thank you very much. Pops the Spell Shield, and now they're going to go for a dragon. This is going to be the dragon for the blue team. We So Good Looking, making sure that they don't give up another dragon.
Okay, so right now let's look at some facts, man. 10,000K ahead. 18 minutes in. This is looking grim. For it's 10. What did I say? 10,000K.
10,000.
Yeah, 10K.
10,000K.
10K in. 4 towers. They got 0 towers on Evil Leanies, man. They were not able to. I figured that they were going to be losing towers. That's just the team comp that they have.
Yeah.
But they had to stop this. They had to not let it just
Snowball
one out. Yeah,
of
just
control.
one after another, and that's what happened.
And I mean, that 10 grand is going to make a big difference because that's about 3 Triforces. And you know how I like to make those comparisons.
3 Triforces.
3 Triforces on at least 3 different people.
Exactly.
That's a lot of gold and tons of damage.
Riven with the Triforce, man. Oh my God.
Hey, I should try that sometime.
No, never.
Anyways, Humandu trying to get some control for his team. However, look at that map. There is blue wards everywhere. There's only the Scuttle Crab as a ward for red team, and that's it. I mean, I think all of Human's wards are cleared out except for that pink ward by blue. But what is that pink ward by blue going to tell them?
Exactly. They know nothing about where the team is. That's why Riven's able to just push top so safely because they don't know what's going on in their top side jungle. So they're able to just have such complete control of this game. Riven's still with her teleport, so she can come join a fight anytime she wants.
And she's just going to keep pressuring, I would think. And they're just taking complete control over here. Evilean is not going to be able to do anything.
No.
he just got to watch them take the red, and hopefully they didn't like leave it to not spawn again. So right now it looks like they're trying to group up a little bit in mid. Simplicity and the Cow are working on those turrets, and they're gonna walk their way towards mid. They're really hoping to start a fight here in mid, and we have to see how Humandu's team tries to play this. The claw goes off, but nothing's going to happen, and they take out another turret. Evolini goes in. He does a good Jarvan into the equalizer. However, so much damage coming out of the Lissandra and the collateral damage from Graves, the Frozen Tomb, everything all piled on together into them. It's like the Jarvan composition's actually working against them in this situation.
In this specific,
because they get funneled so easily by that they just have to take all that damage. And now they're trying to split tank the turret. They managed to take it. Are they going to be able to go for the inhibitor? I think they're a little scared. It's only 9-second timers, really.
Exactly. That's the thing that you have to realize about this, too, is that these deaths are very, very tiny.
Short.
Yeah, I mean, short duration-wise. And it's just, they can't get so much, but they've already gotten so much just throughout the course of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
what can you do?
Yeah, what can you do?
And it's really tough for Evolinis right now, because they wanted to win lane. But you don't go into Ezreal and say, okay, I'm gonna survive lane. You know, you don't go into Sivir and say, oh, I'm gonna get so behind. I mean, 0-6-4, 0-4-4, they have a really hard time in that lane, and you can't really do that with those champions because you're supposed to be the aggressor. And right now they're being aggressed on so hard by the Lee Sin, who built Warmogs, who now they can't even focus that guy. They can't even focus the guy that's super ahead. They can't focus Lissandra because she has 2 invulnerabilities. And if they focus Graves, they're probably going to get CC'd all the way to Georgia. They've just fallen way too far behind for the team comp that they have.
Exactly.
Especially because they're 15,000 gold behind.
That is so, like, that is such a, that's such a big number to try to comprehend.
Yeah.
And it's just
It's
15K.
just the 15.
I mean, no, dude, 15K.
Well, it's
look,
just
you see,
Iasquire lands a resonating strike. Oh, dodges the hook by going into his ward. However, they're fighting in a funnel. The equalizer goes off, but it actually doesn't have much impact. Kaven gets punted back and manages to escape with the Dark Passage. XKVZ trying to help out with a True Shot Barrage, but that's not going to do much. Dry Tears was trying to go aggress, get a Frozen Tomb on that Ezreal that uses Arcane Shift, but no dice. And now, what are they going to do?
It's just so rough seeing them, like, if they catch out Alistar, and that's the only one that they've been consistently catching out.
He's been a good linebacker.
Yeah, he's been good going up in front and taking the
she
hooks.
goes in, gets the Nova off, ults Kaven and Zhonya's just to make sure, Simplicity makes sure to throw out the collateral damage, and they're going to take down this inhibitor now that they lost their Rumble. And Rumble was actually a pretty good hope for them. Evoline is trying to do as much damage as possible, gets CC'd, gets snared, gets buckshotted, and now Lovely Ira is taking a lot of damage from Simplicity. Trivipu coming from behind, XKVZ takes the Lantern and it manages to escape.
They all just...
the Q actually lands on XKVZ.
Oh my God.
He flashes away, Iasquire flashes into turret and gets crippled and
then
dead.
this is the ace coming out for We So Good Looking.
We are so good looking. They must really feel like that right now. They must be doing the Dougie or something.
Because this fight right here just proved like this team is looking good right now.
Yeah, they are. And this is probably a wake-up call for Evolinis, because they were relying so much on their strategy of winning lane and winning and pushing that they probably ignored the fact that they
could lose.
So good looking could actually do that.
Yeah.
Like they could actually win lane and stand up to them and say, hey, you know, you guys were rude last time. We need to have a talk.
And that's how we end up, 23 minutes into the game and 0 towers still. Yeah. They have yet to get a worthy objective. They've gotten 1 dragon.
But the thing is,
that's it.
If they do manage to make it back, if they manage to win a team fight, or they manage to pick people off enough to get, late into the game, maybe 45, 50 minutes, the amount of speed and AoE that Evolinis are going to have is going to overwhelm them.
Exactly.
Because the only really scaling champion that they have is probably Riven, and she doesn't even scale that well. All these guys are mid-game champions. But they're getting out of there, and the dragon's gonna come down. No contest, as they like to say in Smash, right?
No, that's not the term.
That's not the term. No contest. They're pinging the Baron. It doesn't look like they're going for it. I think they wanted to. Someone suggested it, I would say.
Someone said Baron. I think right now is a case of.
Humandu putting some pressure on Chavipu. They turn back. I don't think they want to play this game. Chavipu's not scared though. He's like, you guys want to come? I'll fight you 1v3 because Riven.
I can't tell. Did he just ult? He did, right?
Who ulted?
Riven.
No, she didn't ult.
No?
Her ult's still up. Look.
Okay, that's my bad. I for some reason I thought
It's
I saw.
okay. But all that pressure that they put at bot was a really bad idea, or top, because bot lane was completely taken. The equalizer come out, dry tears, frozen tombs the Sivir, and is able to crush her. And they're not able to respond at all. They're just way too ahead in levels, way too ahead in gold. And they made the bad decision of trying to fight that Riven up there, that they lost all of their bot side. I think they were a little bit too desperate for that because the clear calls are not being made.
Exactly.
It's actually kind of clear that they're a little bit lost
Exactly.
as to what to do.
Especially last game when you're seeing just how well their rotations were last game and how on point they were with the communications. Right now you've just seen so much wasted time, so much, white space.
And they got 3 in hip too.
Yeah.
3 in hip 25 minutes in is not a fun time because Sivir only has an Infinity Edge. Ezreal has only a Triforce. And there's not even a real completed item on that Jarvan. Jarvan is just that far behind, and this Baron falls to them without a blink of an eye.
Yeah, there was no doubt in anyone's mind that We So Good Looking were going to be able to pick up that Baron.
Yeah.
And I mean, right now, this is probably just the end of it. They have Baron, they have the advantage, they have the 2K gold lead. The only hope that they have here is
for a misstep, a very, very big misstep.
But then, who's the misstep even going to be by? By the Graves, who's 8-1, by the Lissandra, who's 5-1, the Lee Sin, who's 9-2.
By the Alistar.
But that's what they've been going for. They've been going for the missteps on Alistar, and it has not been working out.
Yeah, well, Alistar has a pretty safe ultimate, gets the break out of CC, and 50% damage reduction. He's like Braum.
So, well, maybe they should have gone with someone like Braum again for their team, and I'm sure Evilini's is going to have to seriously reconsider their team's goals when they're playing this game, because right now they didn't play at all like they were supposed to.
Or at least like you would expect them to have played, and now the minions are just crashing into them. The cow goes in, knocks them all up, the equalizer, the Nova, the frozen tomb, the collateral damage, it all comes down very crushingly into Evilini's, and the game ends with the inhibitor exploding in favor of We So Good Looking, and they must be feeling